Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and this is episode 61 in my Automate Everything Minecraft series. In today's episode, I'm going to be diving into the mod Draconic Evolution, and that is because I would like to get some better weapons and maybe some better armor as well. Now, the thing I would like to get at the end of all this is the Draconic Bow, and that is just because it can be a super powerful bow that deals damage like crazy. It can be super fast. It's just one of the best weapons in the game, if not the best weapon in modern Minecraft. So where do we begin? Now the first thing we need to do is we actually need to start making things for fusion crafting. And the first thing we need is the fusion crafting core. And it isn't too hard to make. These draconic cores are not too difficult to make. Let me make sure. I do have lots of draconium ingots, so that is always good, obviously. So let's dive in. Now, fusion crafting, I don't know if I will be able to fully automate this, but I'm going to give it my best try. In the past, I've had some level of success in using hoppers, I think, if I remember right, in the fusion crafting injectors. So we're going to see if we can't do more of the same here. So let's see. So I will need to start out with the basic fusion crafting injectors first. And it's just kind of a tier system here. We're going to start out with these, and we're going to work our way up to the Draconic fusion crafting injectors. And there's a chance I will get to the chaotic fusion crafting injectors, but I won't say that that's 100% at all. I definitely will do the draconic though. So let's make some of these, and I'm not sure how many to make. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make 20 of these. They're not expensive at all, so I might as well make some or a bunch of them. So naturally, let's grab that. We also need a lot of RF, or redstone flux, or power. So let's grab some flux ducts to tie into our system, and let's start building. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to have this system. I didn't even say system right. Anyways, this system set up, say, down here somewhere. To be honest, I don't have a great place to put this. I think I'm going to put it down here. There's not a whole lot going on here other than a bunch of storage. So what I need to do first off is I need to tie into my main power grid, which should be, if I dig something like this, there should be power right here. And if I use covers, I can just come down this wall here, which is what I'm gonna do. So right here, I need to make this to be output only, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some flux duct up. But first, I should probably grab some covers, some stone covers, that is, and then we can get started here. So actually, just to make this a little bit easier to put the covers down, I'm going to do this first. Okay, cool. And then we can proceed. And what I'm going to do is this is just going to go down, and then I'm just going to cover this up from each side so that we can't see it. And thankfully, I have a really good tie-in as far as I will have a lot of access to power because this capacitor has an insane amount of power in it. So I shouldn't ever have to worry about power. I know that fusion crafting can take a lot of power, especially with the higher tier crafts, but shouldn't have any problem with any of the crafts I'll be doing anytime soon. So let's drop down. Okay, so where's the cover? That's the cover. So here's our hookup. And so our fusion crafting core, I want to make it one off the ground here. And actually, let's put it right here. And then our crafting injectors can be I think they can be here. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Oh, whoops. I did not mean to do that. If you right click on the fusion crafting injectors, you'll insert an item. So like if I do this, I just threw all of those items in there. That's not what we want to do. And apparently they can hold multiples of one item, which is going to be something I'm going to have to fight with probably. But maybe I'll find a way around that. Let's see. So I just need to hook up the power. And to be honest, I did not do that probably where I should have the power out. It should have been like right here, but that's okay. Okay, so that should be all hooked up. These things should have power. And now, let's see here. Okay, so what we need to make is these guys right here. And let's do a simple craft first. We're going to need Wyvern Cores, which I need to automate. And I'm going to need some diamonds, nether stars, all of which I have, so it's not really a problem. So let's grab a bunch of diamonds. Let's see. Draconic blocks, that's not hard at all. And then Wyvern Cores, which that's not hard either. I do have lots of nether stars, so that is not an issue. So let's see here. I'm going to make, say, 16 of these. 16 of these. You know what? Let's just make a bunch more because I will probably use them in the future. So it's not a big deal if I make more than I need for right now. And then there was one more thing I needed and I forget what. Oh, Draconic cores. So I need 32 of these. Okay, that should be good. Okay, so how we're going to do this is I've grabbed enough to make 16 of the Wyvern tier crafting injectors. And so actually, let's make 6 more of these. And let us... Okay, so I wonder if I can't clear that somehow. Apparently not. Okay, so whatever. I'm just going to do this. Okay, so as far as I remember, it does not matter exactly where you put your crafting ingredients. So like I'm gonna do diamonds. 4 of the slots are diamonds. 1 slot Wyvern Core, 1 slot Draconic blocks, and then the 2 remaining are Draconic cores. Like I said, I don't think it matters where. And now, if you'll notice, it says start right here. And let's get going. So this shouldn't take too long. It shouldn't take too much power either. And with my connection to my capacitor outside, I should get a lot of power relatively quickly. Okay, so that's... Oh, okay. I forgot that it was kind of a 2-step procedure here. First of all, it charges and then it crafts. So one thing I'm pretty sure I can do is I can take a hopper here and I can hop items out. So let's get... and we can just use a regular chest here. No need for modular storage. So I should be able to hop stuff out. So let's try that. As we see here, we have a Wyvern Fusion crafting injector there, and it has been hopped out. So cool. That's one little step of it. Additionally, I believe if I apply a redstone signal to this, it will start crafting. So let's test that theory out. That did not work. Let's try something else. Let's grab some conduit here. I'm sure there's a way to do this because I'm pretty sure I've done this before. There was a little freeze there. Anyways, let me get my Yeta wrench so that I can work with this. And this needs to be output. Let's do a strong signal. And then let's grab a lever for right now. Okay, so this needs to be green. Yes, okay, so that works. So we're going to need to find a way to actually get this thing to activate as it needs to. So I think what I can do is... Okay, so instead of actually putting items directly into the fusion crafter, I think what I might do is put them into a hopper beforehand. And then I'm going to run a comparator off of that hopper. Oh my goodness, I can't even say elementary words right now. I'm going to run a comparator off that hopper to get a redstone signal. Okay, so let's get rid of this because this was all just proof of concept here. Okay, so I have a few of these already, which is good. Like I said, I want to run a comparator off of this. So, actually, I might have some slabs here, because that might be the way to go here. Put down a slab right there. Okay, okay, so okay, I already see a problem here. And I think I might be able to fix it. Can I actually set a comparator on top of a chest? And I don't think I can, but I'm gonna try it. Nope. Rather than doing this, I might try to put a comparator directly against the fusion crafting core. And I'm not sure if this will work. Ooh. Okay, so that looks like it will work, and that'll work because I can not do that. I should be able to use a comparator here. Put it into, let's try like a redstone clock or something. So let's get a repeater, a few repeaters, some redstone dust. Okay, so let's also grab some stone. And this is not going to be super pretty. But I want any signal to be let's see. I want any signal to be extended. So that's where we're going to have that there. In reality, I think I'm going to need to make this little stone pad here a little bit bigger. And I hope this redstone doesn't do anything to this ME controller, to be honest, because I'm not sure if it will or not. Okay, so we're going to have a clock essentially set up right here. And I'm going to see how this actually will work, or if it'll work like I want it to. Okay, so this right here will be nothing. This right here will be input on green. And over here, we're going to have output. And it will need to be a strong out. Actually, I'm not sure if it needs to be a strong output or not. So, let's hop an item in, see if we get that to start, and we do. Now, does it pause every time it gets a redstone signal? It doesn't look like it is. So, this should work. Okay, so that's kind of one element of this thing that's been automated, I guess. So that's pretty cool. Obviously, I need the output to come back into the applied energistic system, but that's not really a big deal. The next thing I really need to worry about is getting things into the fusion crafting injectors. And that's going to be a little bit more difficult because, like I said, they can accept multiple items. Okay, so what I'm going to do real fast is I'm going to have this system carry out some automatic crafting. I'm going to have it finish with the remaining, 11 Wyvern fusion crafting injectors. And once it's finished with all of those, I will be right back. Okay, now that I have my 16 Wyvern fusion crafting injectors done, I've actually decided to move this whole thing, and I've decided to move it up one floor because I have a lot more space up here since I cleared out a little bit of stuff right here. So, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to place down, let's see here, actually I'm not sure how many I want to place down because I'm not sure exactly how many I need. Okay, so first of all, I definitely want this tier, and so I need at least 7 of them to perform this craft right here. I think what I'm going to do is, actually, let's check out one more thing. Actually, I need the Draconic Bow is what I eventually want, so let me see what it takes to craft these. Okay, so that's not a hard craft to do at all. So for right now, I'm going to do 8 of these. And I'm going to have them face like this. And let's see here, let's grab some flux duct once again. And actually what I can do is I can kind of replicate this setup up there with the new crafting injectors and maybe give myself a little bit more space. But I'm just going to replicate that setup kind of off camera real fast. And once I have that done, I will be right back. Okay, so I am finally back here, and I have decided that I am going to change the way that I'm getting power into these fusion crafting injectors, and that is because I also will need to filter out how I get the items in and out, or rather just in, to the crafting injectors. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and fill out this center one here. And the way I'm going to get power into these is I'm going to get a capacitor. And let's grab, yeah, I actually should only need, I think, 2 of them. So what I want to do is grab a capacitor. And you know what, I might just go ahead and make this 4. What we're going to do is we're going to set this up to be insert only over here. And then we're going to grab this. And we're going to do this on either side. And this totally is unnecessary, but whatever. And then right here I'm going to have an output, as well as right here actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to run some item conduits and some vibrant or some ender energy conduit as well into the back of these guys. And that's because I'm probably going to need to filter exactly how I get stuff in. So let's grab some ender energy conduit, and this will probably slow down the crafts. And that's kind of just unfortunate fact there, but by using this I can access the sides with more with item conduits as well as the energy. So yeah, so that should be good. The next thing I need to do is I need to get an ME interface because I do want to automate this, so I'm gonna try. So I don't really need this to be up against the crafting injectors. In fact, it would be dumb to have it there. I think what I can do is maybe put it right here. Get modular storage or something similar. I think modular storage would be the way to go here. And let's put that right here. And then get rid of the iron ingot because that is unnecessary. And then what I'm going to do real fast is I'm going to grab things that I know I will need for a craft to make another one of these Wyvern fusion injectors here. And that's because I'm going to try to automate this. So actually, let's get rid of some stuff we don't need super right now. And I will need, let's say, a couple of these. One of the interesting things about this is, if there's no valid recipe, it will not tick. Its redstone will not tick. So I don't know if we're gonna have to fight against that or not. Okay, so let's actually make this recipe in this guy right here. So obviously we're gonna need this. It's going to be one of these, 4 diamonds, 2 of these, 1 Wyvern Core, and 1 basic fusion injector, and that is going to be the recipe. Oh, whoa, I didn't even put in what it is. Derp. So it should make one of these. And that's going to be the recipe. Let's see if we can't make this work. And if we can, that would be great. Sorry about that. Okay, so this recipe will go right here. And obviously we're going to need some item conduit here. I'm going to make this go up. Actually, no, it would be dumb to have it go over like that, because it also needs to run over here. Okay, so we're going to need some filtering. Not entirely sure how we're going to do that quite yet. Obviously, this will be extract always on, and then the rest of these guys will be insert. And I'm going to need some whoops, I did not mean to do that. Oh, I accidentally put my button into the crafter. That is not valid. Okay, so what I think I'm going to need is some item filters, and I'm going to need some special item filters, I think. But first, let's try it with the basic item filters. Let's see what kind of options I get here. Yeah, I'm not going to have enough options there because I need to limit the amount of items and stuff I get in. So I think what I'm going to need is the limited item filters. And I'm going to grab 10 of them. Oh, shoot. Actually, I might have to redo this again because, and I've tried to use the limited item filters before and they haven't worked out very well. I think flux or not flux ducts, but item ducts might give me the options I need. So let me grab some item ducts, let me grab some filters, and let me see if this will give me what I need filter wise. So what I can do real fast is just test this out by doing something like this. Prevent oversending. Obviously that's not going to work, but the thing is there are multiple levels of filters here, and I should, in fact, actually this recipe would be easier. I should be able to make higher tier filters here. So let's see if this filter will give me what I need. Increase max. Okay, this is what I'm gonna need right here. So I think, unfortunately, I'm gonna rip some of this out again because Yeah, I can't really use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of this item conduit and the ender energy conduit. And once I have that done, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with yet another plan here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert the energy through flux ducts that will go completely around this whole system here. So what I'm going to do is just dig this out, if I can, and then my flux duct will go around like I said, and that should provide power to all of these guys. And then that leaves the backs free to be connected to the item duct, which is exactly what I want to see. So I should be able to hook that up like so, and that should be fine. I don't need this anymore because the Cryo-Stabilized flux duct does not have a limit on the capacity. So I'm just going to set up this item duct real fast. We're going to hit filters on all of these guys. I'm not going to configure them quite yet. We can work on that here in a little bit. But I also need to hook up item duct here. And it will also need a filter. And then this one right here will need a servo. So I think I can hook my item duct up like this. And it's not going to be the cleanest system, but whatever. I'm not too concerned about it. If it works, I will be extremely happy. So my resonant retriever goes, or a resonant servo rather, goes right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to set the stack size down to 1. We're going to do round robin mode. We're going to have none of this other stuff changed. I'm not going to turn it on quite yet. We need one more filter here. And okay, so for this particular craft, we need to set everything down to 1. We're going to need a whitelist. Let's do the basic fusion crafting injector, and then let's start with this. So whitelist 1. We need diamonds, and the first 4 are diamonds. Whitelist diamonds is 2. Whitelist diamonds. Whitelist diamonds. Okay, so the diamonds are out of the way. The next thing we need to do is the Draconic Cores. Actually, we can do this in any order we want. We just need to have the right number of items everywhere. So we did the 2 Draconic Cores. We need the Wyvern Core. And then lastly, we need the Draconian blocks. Let me double check that I have all my settings the same here. I need to whitelist and have 1 is what I'm looking at. Okay, I missed that one. Kind of figured I'd screw something up somewhere. Everything else looks good. So the only thing left to do, I think, is to try this. So let's type in Wyvern crafting. Let's hit that. And okay, so the items should be in here. Let's go ahead and turn this bad boy on. Oh my god, this works. I'm so excited. Okay, so the next test is going to be if I can make multiples and it still works like it should. Because 1 at a time isn't super exciting, but if I can set this up to where it can do multiples, that'll be super exciting. I'll be excited. Okay, so I'm going to wait for this to finish. Actually, one more thing I forgot to do is I need to add an import bus here, but that's not a problem. I'm giddy. I didn't know if this would work at all. So I just need some covered cables here. And like I said, because I don't really care if this looks good or not, it already doesn't look good. Let's do that. So yeah, perfect. So let's try to do 10 of them. Let's see if that'll work. I'm pretty sure it'll start off on the right foot by getting one out the door, but I'm not sure if it will distribute the rest of the items like it should. So, yeah. And it looks like, actually, because of those filters, it will only allow... Okay, so it's only allowing that many items in the inventory. So this should actually work, because it won't allow any of these things to be pulled out until the inventories are empty. And it will not overstuff the inventories because it will only allow one to be in each inventory. Oh yeah, I'm super excited. Okay, so I think this is a good wrapping up point for this episode. So in today's episode, I set up this automated system to do some Draconic fusion and crafting. And it's really cool. It works. I will probably face a complication in the future of when I start adding more recipes of having things conflict. But to be honest, it really shouldn't matter because those filters only allow one item to be in these crafting injectors at a time. So yeah, this should work really, really super well. And this is super exciting. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's episode, definitely give it a like. If you enjoy watching modded Minecraft or automation in modded Minecraft, definitely consider subscribing to my channel. Anyways, signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.